Hey guys, Boston25 here, playing FSX once again. Today, we will be flying a Singapore Airlines 777 from Singapore's Changi International Airport to Copenhagen. This is actually a free scenery, I think. And you can see we got some 747s here. Got some other aircraft. So just get into position. Let's start the engines. Parking brake off. It's going to look to where the closest runway is. I think we'll do shift P2. And we've got that engine spinning at quite a fast rate. There you go. And now that we've got the other engine spooling up. And this is an actual route operated by Singapore. Let's hit Control E one more time to make sure that engine. There we go. We've got both engines. Both engines running. Now you can see another 777 there. And there are also, some just generic FSX aircraft. However, that's a 757. Yeah, altitude. No, so I know I said I'm not going to fly a 777 again. However, this is a better 777. Yep. Stop the pushback. Just turn the tow off. Instrument panel. That and tow off. Right, close window, set flaps. Hey. I just told you to power the engines down. Brake on. Okay, well, we have the flaps set. Speed, we're going to go for 240 because we'll be below 10,000 feet. Altitude no, we're going for 350. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you can see that I think I don't know. We'll just turn and head down towards that runway. There we go. Using those spoiler-ons. You can see this aircraft also has, I think, a small bit of a raked wingtip. A raked wingtip is the the wingtip is kind of, it's not quite a winglet where it goes up. I'm actually going to. There we go, we just did a U-turn in a Boeing 777-300. I will keep an eye on the speed though. Put the engines back to idle. Look, this does have a rear wheel steering. However, we do have to kind of dodge that. Okay, I would have to go around there, but that's going to take too long. Can you see it now? Yeah, you can see the rear wheel steering. The rearmost wheel of that bogie. I believe that's the term for that kind of. For that. And there's a Cathay aircraft there, Cathay Pacific. I don't think there are A380s at this airport from, this add-on. I also have the Flight Hamp Copenhagen scenery. Just keep texting here. Can we see what airline that aircraft is? Because I can't make out what airline. Philippines. Uh-huh. Right. We've got a KLM aircraft over there. That aircraft does not have any engines or landing gear. Neither do those. Is that just because we're too far out? If I go into outside, yeah, top down. Oh, I think you've got a KLM 747 there, and a BA aircraft as well. Yeah, I've heard of I've heard of a glass cockpit, but I never thought it meant that literally. Yeah, it's ground landing gear now, instead of those. Right, we'll turn onto the runway here and then it'll climb out. Most of these are 777s, I think. It's the aircraft here. We'll turn on at the next point. Oh, you've got a... Well, you can see the BA aircraft I was talking about, but I'm not sure what... Yeah, we're turning on here. Damn it, 777. That's runway 20 center. Means there's another runway a bit further along. Usually. Yeah, we've got another 747. And I'm presuming the KLM is also a 777. But we'll just get
approaching
onto the
20 center.
Not many airports have like a runway that's labeled something something center. It's usually, I think, just left and right. Rolling takeoff. Okay, so V1 is 178
on
knots.
runway 20 center.
So you say, why is that thing in my way? Yeah, I'm just going to go onto this just because it's got a better... I've got a better view. So, there we go, we're shooting on our... So there's V1, rotate. Positive right, gear up. LNAV on, autopilot on, autothrust on, VNAV on. Now we're safely, well, hopefully safely. This thing is... No, flaps 5. Yeah, it's spooling the engines up though, so that's good. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Landing lights on, taxi lights off, strobe on. Flaps 1. Yeah, you can see that's where it kind of... You can see where, the add-on ends. Like, it ends, I think, literally at the airport boundaries, or maybe out here, but... I should set it to 250. Here, I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll see you guys once we begin our approach into Copenhagen. See you later. Okay guys, we're beginning our descent into Copenhagen by descending to 30,000 feet. I'm wondering if you can actually zoom out on this. I'm pretty sure this is just kind of like... Yeah, this isn't even really like a proper... These experts are doing my best. Okay, we're going to need to use a bit of the good old spoilers. I usually... You need to put out quite a bit. As you can see, they're not even slightly deployed. Okay, this will be a nighttime landing, and that's really weird looking. I believe it's 1 o'clock flight level 33. It's 1 o'clock and below. Not sure, I'm going to report traffic inside. I don't see them. Boeing MD-80. I think it's not really... Oh wait, is that it? Yeah, I think I see it. I have visual of it, I think. If it's in a cloud, then the thing is blocked. Oh yeah, you can see the spoilers pop up immediately. 50. That's when they start to pop up. I think the Boeing 777 is the most popular twin-engine long-range aircraft. So, you know, it's from... this is powered by the... it's a GE90, I think. Yeah, according to that. GA90 110B1. Leveling off. No, not quite yet. And the latest version of it, I think it's going to be powered by the GEnx, which is just I'm talking about the Boeing 777X, to be powered by GEnx. Wait a second, maybe it was that aircraft they were talking about. I don't know. See the flag of Singapore on the side of the aircraft there. So I'm presuming Singapore Airlines is the official government airline of Singapore. We're about to level off. How far we're descending to maintain 16,000. Acknowledge. I'm letting this, I'm letting the aircraft itself decide at what speed it should descend. I might end up regretting that. I definitely saw the engines kind of kick back. Oh, there we go. It's speeding up the descent. And please note, this is actually a freeware aircraft. I'm pretty sure even Igor would say, I mean, this is brilliant for a freeware aircraft. This doesn't have you... Oh. Yeah, I'm presuming that's good, but I don't know what that is. Do not use airport maps as primary navigation reference. That's the tiller that controls that. F-O parking brake, captain set, tower, ground, contact, fuel control switches, cut off, engine fire switches, pull and rotate, APU fire switch, override, pull and rotate, outflow valve switches, man, presume that means manual, outflow valve manual switches open, passenger evacuation, easy victor, easy victor. Okay, as you can see, we're performing a... Well, hold on. I definitely could see that line kind of coming up. Yeah, how far away are we? So it seems we're going to fly over the bottom part of Sweden, I think that is. And so I think this here is the bottom part of Sweden, and that there is what we're going to be approaching, because we're currently over that island. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm figuring this out. Okay, good. So this has my kind of approval for a rate of descent. Actually, does this have like a seatbelt sign or anything? Don't remember seeing one. That could, yeah, there is one. Well, it's set to auto and you can't change them. See, drag fuel flow 0, so you can see that this is not very accurate compared to, say, like a PMDG 777. But this, in all honesty, I think was one of the best freeware aircraft you will find, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I do not know who the publisher is or anything. I just downloaded a Singapore Airlines mega package and this came with it. So, and I've found the Singapore Airlines mega package, download that. If you're interested in having this aircraft, and then maybe you can find out who published it. Well, if you do, then could you please tell me? Because I want to see if there are more potential liveries. You can see these engines, like on a smaller aircraft, like say a 737. The engines are, the cowling at the front is not that short. It's considerably longer relative to the width. So I think these are, you know, some extremely high bypass engines. So for example, you wouldn't see that big of a gap in a 737, I think. But I'm not sure, you know, I'm not that much of an expert. Right, so we're going to level off just shortly after reaching the Elvix waypoint. So that's in approximately a minute. I'm going to look around here, see if I can zoom out. That's the parking brake. That's the, I presume that's the rudder trim. You can see the aircraft is actually starting to, yeah, it's starting to yaw considerably. I'm going to take that. One, two, three, four. There we go. We're flying straight and true again with the rudder central. Can I click on that? So can I just do that? No, that. I don't know. There we go. Straightening it out again. I'm actually going to see what effect it has if I just do a hard over. Look, there's no visible change. I'm going to reset it because I don't want the thing turning left and right and all. These are wide body aircraft, the 777s. And they're used mostly on a trans-Pacific or, you know, extremely long range or long distance routes. And you can see now we're about to begin another turn here. See the low speed ailerons out at the wingtips and the, well, you can't see them now because I'm not the one controlling the aircraft, but the high speed ones are the ones here. So you can actually see now as the aircraft is, do we have spoilers deployed at all? Indeed we do. Well, we're about to level off anyway, so I'm not regretting putting that in. That allows the aircraft to turn. I've used this here, 50 miles east, turn left. No, it's this way, 245. Acknowledge time to approach. 245. Two 1-5 then. Acknowledge. That's heading select, yeah. You need to kind of set that, because you can't select it on And so you occasionally do need to flip over to the non-virtual cockpit. I'm working on it. I'm performing quite a harsh bank, actually. Can I actually adjust the bank on it? Not 2 and 5. Are you kidding me? Well, then we'll just go from final approach. Pause the video and I'll see you guys then. Okay, guys. We are... I've gotten the thing back online. Right, so flaps. What are the flaps up to? 1... What? I set that to 140. What is this thing doing? Seriously. Well, is it like... You need... I don't know. But alright, we're approaching Copenhagen. Just gradually extend the flaps. I think I can put the gear down now as well. Oh yeah, there's the airport. Alright, autopilot off, full flaps. Our auto throttle should... I'm going to turn VNAV off and have auto throttle, and let's just engage auto throttle, yeah, so that's speed. We're technically stalling. That's not good. I'm gonna go for 160. Yeah, that's the runway we're going for, the left one. Yeah, you can see the airport around here is quite detailed. You can see the bridge in the background there. Oh no, it's that's the bridge in the background. That's quite a large bridge. Yeah, that's probably a stall warning. Okay. Turn. Yeah, that's what happens when the game crashes, just when you're about to land. We'll be flying over that kind of foresty bit. You can see this has a faster approach speed than a normal. I mean, even with a 747, I'm approaching it at 140 knots, whereas with this, it's 160. And I think that's an MT-80 approach speed. Maybe the MT-80 is higher. Yeah, we're off glide slope, so we have to descend quite quickly here. There's actually traffic on that bridge, by the way. It goes under water. Yeah, it goes into a tunnel here. Yeah, I don't know much landmarks around here. I've never been to Denmark. You can see even the ailerons are acting as flaps. Flaperons, I guess they're called. That's not a joke. They're flaperon is an actual term. Yeah, I think this is the highest graphics setting for the Fly Tampa Copenhagen add-on. Yeah, but just give me a moment to get us flying it nice and smoothly. Yeah, shut up, morning. It's the autopilot. Well, that was already off.
Approaching 04 left.
Yep, I've got full control. I hope the engines aren't spilling down too much. Oh god, we're way too high. That thing just popped out there. I need to kill that. Quite a lot of vertical speed. In fact, at the moment we're actually gliding. Yeah, I think these are the ILS beacons. Don't crush them, don't crush them, don't crush them. Yeah, sorry, I'm not very used to this aircraft, so... In fact, we're coming in kind of almost off the runway. As you can see, there's a lot of this aircraft kind of behind the wheels. Yeah, ignore the fact that there's fire coming out of there. That shouldn't be coming out. That would be stopped by the tail strike, the little tail strike thing. Just ignore the fact that, as I said, ignore the fact that the rear of the airplane's on fire. We're going to simply turn off here. We're moving considerably quicker than you should be. But it genuinely, from that perspective, looks like there's an aircraft landing with like an engine on fire or something. I don't know. Oh, those are wind turbines that actually move. That's pretty neat. Yep. Just keep moving here. I'm just going to salute to the gate just for...
On taxiway, on taxiway.
And
On
all of these have
taxiway,
animated
on
jet noise
taxiway.
now.
On
That's
taxiway, on taxiway.
something you can kind of change in the install options.
On taxiway, on taxiway. On taxiway, on taxiway.
Let's check if they do. Crap. I'll steal myself back. Control J, Control J. Let's shut her down. So, engine cut off. What is this going for? Well, let me just move the jetway, slew the aircraft back to say point.
On taxiway,
there.
on taxiway.
Yep, there we go. Shift E. Or not views instrument panel. No. Instrument panel. In real life, it wouldn't be spewing out that much things. Door 2, door 3. Is that going to screw with it? Yes, it is. Well, we don't need catering. We need tow. Okay, so that's the debug thing up here. Close that window, we don't need it. Yeah, just remove that stuff. Anyways, that was a flight from Singapore to Copenhagen in a Boeing 777. I'm Bottom 25. Goodbye.